The 4th Annual Choir Festival of Asiwaju of Remo Christians is here, and you are cordially invited. The theme for the 2025 edition is With the Voice of Singing. The Choir Festival will feature the winner of the 2024 edition, Emerald Choir, the host choir, Tabernacle Choir, 8 other competing choirs, and 20 observing choirs. Special appearance by King Sunny and Star Prize 5 million naira. Second prize 3 million naira. Third prize 2 million naira. The total winning prize for this year's edition is 25 million naira, and other consolation prizes for winners in other categories. Date Sunday 6th July 2025. Time 11 a.m. prompt. Venue Abraham Tabernacle, Oba Henry Wale Road, GRA, Shagam, Ogun State. Chief host is Excellency the Senator Otumba Gbenga Daniel, CON, the Asiwaju of Remo Christians. The Choir Festival, improving the art of singing in our churches. Media partners TVC News, Channels TV, Arise TV, BOS Communications, and others.
The Senate, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Committee on National Security and Intelligence, National Assembly Complex, 3-Armed Zone, PMB 141, Garki, Abuja, Nigeria. Invitation to the first biannual training on community security engagement for traditional rulers, local government chairmen, and grassroots critical security stakeholders. The Nigerian Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence has approved a tripartite synergy with the National Open University of Nigeria, NOUN, and Royal Gate International, institutionalizing a biannual training course on community security engagement for traditional rulers, local government chairmen, and grassroots critical security stakeholders. This synergy is a legislative intervention aimed at providing a structural framework that will put in place a trained and equipped security intelligence personnel capable of acting as community first line of defense, COFILOD, in our communities. The training, as was institutionalized, is to be declared open by His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, the President of the Nigerian Senate, on the 17th of June 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt. Venue is the National Open University of Nigeria, Noun Headquarters, Abuja. Chairman of the occasion, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, National Security Advisor to the President. Keynote address to be delivered by Distinguished Senator Buba Shehu Umar, Chairman, Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence. Overview on community security engagement to be delivered by Mr. Adiola Oluwatosin Ajayi, MON, Director General, DSS. Attendance from states, governors and their security advisors, Right Honorable Speakers, House Committee Chairman on Security, House Committee Chairman on States and Local Government, Honorable Commissioner for Local Governments and Chieftaincy. Attendance from local government councils, all the 774 local government area chairmen, 3 traditional rulers from different zones within the local government area, nominees from the 3 traditional rulers and the local government chairman, making 4 unemployed graduates to attend the training. OC surveillance from Divisional Police Station. Chief Host, Barrister Nyesom Wike, Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Arrival date and completion of registration by all participants is on 16th of June 2025. Signed, Distinguished Senator Buba Shehu Umar, Chairman, Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence. Two years ago, on May 29, 2023, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu assumed office as the 16th leader of Nigeria, carrying with him the weight of high expectations, complex national challenges, and a campaign promise rooted in the mantra of renewed hope. His emergence marked a pivotal moment in Nigeria's democratic journey, a transition of power that was both celebrated and contested, amid hopes that his decades of political experience, most notably as former governor of Lagos State, would translate into transformative leadership at the national level. 2 years down the line, it is imperative to assess the trajectory of his governance, the bold reforms he has undertaken, and the impact, both immediate and projected, of his policies on the Nigerian people. From the very outset, President Tinubu signaled a readiness to take on the nation's most daunting economic problems. In a move that would come to define his first year in office, he declared the removal of petrol subsidy in his inaugural address. This single statement sent ripples through the economy, triggering an immediate rise in the pump price of fuel and unleashing inflationary pressures that affected transport, food, and virtually every sector of the economy. For supporters, the subsidy removal was a courageous step long overdue, a necessary evil to plug fiscal leakages and redirect funds towards national development. For critics, the policy was too sudden and poorly cushioned, thrusting millions of Nigerians into economic hardship without adequate social protection mechanisms in place. In tandem with subsidy removal, the administration embarked on a far-reaching foreign exchange reform by collapsing the multiple exchange rate windows and adopting a unified market-determined rate. This was intended to foster transparency, boost investor confidence, and curb arbitrage. While the reform was welcomed in principle, the initial outcomes were painful. The naira depreciated significantly, import costs soared, and inflation climbed steadily, eroding the purchasing power of ordinary citizens. The Central Bank of Nigeria, under the new leadership of Yemi Cardoso, has since struggled to stabilize the currency and contain inflation, despite interventions and monetary tightening. Throughout these economic shifts, President Tinubu's administration has insisted that the hardships are temporary sacrifices on the path to a more stable and prosperous future. Initiatives like the Student Loan Act, the distribution of food palliatives, proposed wage reviews, and targeted support for small businesses were introduced to ease the burden. Yet, for many Nigerians, the pace of relief has been slow, and the gap between policy intention and tangible impact remains wide. On the security front, the Tinubu government inherited a multifaceted crisis, from Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast to banditry and kidnapping in the northwest to separatist tensions in the southeast. While some improvements have been recorded, particularly in terms of military equipment procurement and leadership restructuring within the armed forces, insecurity remains a persistent concern. Kidnappings for ransom, attacks on rural communities, and unresolved insurgencies continue to test the government's capacity to ensure national safety and cohesion. In governance and public administration, Tinubu has pursued a blend of political loyalty and technocratic competence in his cabinet appointments. Figures like Wale Edun, Bosun Tijani, and Doris Anite represent attempts to inject policy expertise into critical sectors. However, the performance of the federal cabinet has been mixed, with several ministries yet to inspire confidence through impactful initiatives or clear direction. Regionally and globally, Tinubu has sought to re-establish Nigeria's leadership role. Under his watch, Nigeria has played a more assertive role in ECOWAS, especially in response to the wave of military coups in West Africa. He has also actively courted international investment through visits to India, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and the United States. Despite these efforts, foreign investor confidence remains cautious, constrained by domestic instability and concerns over policy consistency. Infrastructure development has continued, with several road and housing projects flagged off or completed under Tinubu's leadership. The renewed focus on the blue economy, digital transformation, and energy reforms are noteworthy. President Tinubu's administration has also faced significant pushback from organized labor, civil society, and opposition voices. The Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress have staged strikes and protests over fuel price hikes, wage issues, and poor living conditions. The government's response has oscillated between negotiation and deflection, underscoring the need for more consistent engagement with critical stakeholders. In sum, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's first 2 years in office have been defined by audacious reforms, political consolidation, and economic turbulence. He has shown a willingness to take difficult decisions, even at great political cost, in a bid to restructure the Nigerian economy and strengthen state institutions. However, the burden of implementation, public perception, and the urgency of delivering tangible results remains significant. As Nigeria looks ahead to the next 2 years of his tenure, the question remains, will the seeds sown in these early years bear the fruit of national renewal, or will the pain of reform overshadow its promised gains? Only time and sustained governance discipline will tell.
Adverse effects and government's approach to curb illegal mining in Nigeria. From the word, illegal mining is an activity that is undertaken without state permission, in particular in absence of land rights, mining licenses, and exploration or mineral transportation permits. Illegal mining and trafficking in precious metals negatively impacts peace, stability, security, development, governance, rule of law, environment, and the economy at large. It is often accompanied by serious human rights abuses, and it can have severe environmental impacts, including through deforestation, land degradation, and pollution. The illegal activities are often linked to economic crimes such as tax evasion, fraud, and corruption by exploiting loopholes in regulatory frameworks. Nigeria's mining sector is diverse in mineral resources that makes a significant contribution to the nation's gross domestic product. Its minerals include barite, bitumen, iron ore, lead, zinc, coal, limestone, and gold. According to the Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alake, the conservative amount of minerals deposited in the country is worth more than $700 billion.
But the country had yet to access a quarter of the deposit.
In the 2024 budget of Renewed Hope, as proposed by President Bola Tinubu, outlines a total expenditure of 27.5 trillion naira with a projected revenue of 18.32 trillion naira and a deficit of 9.18 trillion naira. To achieve the projected revenue, the federal government estimated that minerals and mining alone will account for 4.55 billion naira. However, the mining sector is faced with multiple challenges, and its current poor performance can be attributed to various factors, including opaque extraction, insecurity, and organized crime. Nigeria's national resources have been exploited by both local and foreign criminals for decades, and the extractive sector is the most recent target. In April 2020, the Nigerian police force in Zamfara state arrested 2 Chinese nationals for allegedly engaging in illegal mining in Bukuyum local government area of the state, where the federal government had banned all mining activities to curb killings by armed bandits in July 2023. The EFCC arrested 13 more Chinese nationals for allegedly engaging in illegal mining activities. Also, in August 2023, the Akwa Ibom state government closed down an illegal mining company operated by Chinese nationals for the firm's inability to provide authorization documents for titanium ore mining in Ibeno community. In addition, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Federal Capital Territory FCT Command, in December 2023, disclosed that it arrested no fewer than 82 suspected vandals and 22 illegal miners in the last 4 months, among other cases. However, on December 12, 2023, the Minister of Solid Minerals, Dele Alake, has said some powerful Nigerians involved in illegal mining are sponsoring banditry and terrorism in the country. He stated this when he appeared before the House of Representatives Committee on Solid Minerals for the ministry's 2024 budget defense in Abuja, the nation's capital. Alake also revealed that foreigners are among those engaging in illegal mining in the country, adding that most of the foreigners engaging in illegal mining in the country had no proper immigration. In March 2022, the Nigerian Immigration Service in Niger State arrested over 200 Chinese workers who had reportedly traveled to Nigeria with tourist visas and continued to stay after their travel permits expired. According to reports, this phenomenon was sustained by cumbersome visa approval processes by Nigerian authorities and outright violations of travel permits issued for Chinese workers by Nigeria. On the 16th January 2024, around 8 p.m., residents of Ibadan, Oyo State, expressed panic as reports surfaced of an explosion in parts of the state capital. Residents of Adeyi Avenue in Bodija, Ibadan, has blamed the Malian illegal miners for the explosion that rocked the Asian city. The blast, which killed 5 people with over 77 injured, is the latest recorded in the country so far. Illegal mining can have several negative effects on the environment, economy, and society, amongst some of which include: first, environmental degradation. Illegal mining often involves the use of destructive methods such as clear-cutting forests, using toxic chemicals, and causing soil erosion, which can lead to the destruction of habitats, deforestation, and the contamination of water sources. Second, illegal mining activities often involves the use of hazardous chemicals, such as mercury and cyanide, which possess serious health risks to the miners and nearby communities. These chemicals can contaminate the air, water, and soil, leading to respiratory diseases, poisoning, and other health issues. Third, it can result in social conflict between miners, local communities, and authorities in the country. The conflicts can lead to violence, crime, and instability in the affected areas. Furthermore, the illegal activities can undermine the formal mining sector and the government's ability to collect taxes and royalties, depriving the government of much-needed revenue that can lead to economic instability. The Nigerian government has been making efforts to combat illegal mining by strengthening regulatory frameworks, increasing law enforcement efforts, and promoting responsible mining practices. However, the task remains challenging due to the vast geographical area and limited resources for monitoring and enforcement. On January 2024, the Kogi state government banned traditional rulers and community leaders from issuing consent letters to prospective miners in the state. The government directed that henceforth, any consent letter must pass through due process for its consideration and approval. The Commissioner for Solid Minerals and Natural Resources in the state, Alhaji Bashir Gegu, said that the atrocities being committed by illegal miners brought about the recent ban on illegal mining activities in the state. The federal government, through the Ministry of Solid Minerals Development, has also issued a warning to foreign operators who sponsor banditry in order to execute illegal mining in the country. The minister, Dele Alake, issued the warning when a delegation of the Nigeria-China Chamber of Mines, led by its national president, Dr. Olugbenga Ajala, paid him a courtesy visit in his office at the ministry's headquarters in Abuja. To curb illegal mining in the country, the government needs to review and strengthen existing mining laws and regulations to make them more stringent and effective in deterring illegal mining activities. Implement monitoring and surveillance systems such as satellite imagery or aerial reconnaissance, which help detect and track illegal mining activities. Government should collaborate with local communities by involving them in decision-making processes, provide education and alternative livelihood opportunities, and support community-led initiatives to combat illegal mining in their areas. Finally, governments can encourage responsible mining practices by providing training, technical assistance, and financial support to legitimate mining operations. This can help promote sustainable and environmentally friendly mining practices.
Where you debar the people from taking their own resources, there will be problems. And that is why we have illegal mining. And that the French, the Chinese, they will keep sending and keep using our people to do illegal mining. And the government can't really stop it because it's beyond what they can control, except to give them the resource control and then allow them to pay tax to the center. Sure, there are already penalties in the law books. They might need to just update them. But you see, prevention is always better than cure. So it's just like when there was this American, a white man that came to Lagos and was doing street trading. And then he said, even in America, street trading is allowed. It's only that you have to be registered and the government knows about your activity. So there are some certain things that the government cannot stop. You can only regulate. So the regulation will take care of this problem rather than just trying to punish them.
What I feel is that they should legalize them, identify them, and then legalize it. Just like part of mining has to do with this oil mining as well. Why not let's know them and legalize them? It saves us from all these deportations, as far as my understanding.
And they should ensure that there is a tax force that, because you cannot stop people from mining, those that have paid. So the tax force should do their job. Those companies that are not licensed, they should go after them. They should face the rods. They should charge them to courts. Let them charge them to court because so many people have lost their life. So many people have lost their property. So let the government face them squarely. That is the way forward.
The Senate, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Committee on National Security and Intelligence, National Assembly Complex, 3-Arm Zone, PMB 141, Garki, Abuja, Nigeria. Invitation to the first biannual training on community security engagement for traditional rulers, local government chairmen, and grassroots critical security stakeholders. The Nigerian Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence has approved a tripartite synergy with the National Open University of Nigeria, NOUN, and Royal Gate International, institutionalizing a biannual training course on community security engagement for traditional rulers, local government chairmen, and grassroots critical security stakeholders. This synergy is a legislative intervention aimed at providing a structural framework that will put in place a trained and equipped security intelligence personnel capable of acting as community first line of defense, COFILOD, in our communities. The training, as was institutionalized, is to be declared open by His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, the President of the Nigerian Senate, on the 17th of June 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt. Venue is the National Open University of Nigeria, Noun Headquarters, Abuja. Chairman of the occasion, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, National Security Advisor to the President. Keynote address to be delivered by Distinguished Senator Buba Shehu Umar, Chairman, Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence. Overview on community security engagement to be delivered by Mr. Adiola Oluwatosin Ajayi, MON, Director General, DSS. Attendance from states, governors and their security advisors, Right Honorable Speakers, House Committee Chairman on Security, House Committee Chairman on States and Local Government, Honorable Commissioner for Local Governments and Chieftaincy. Attendance from local government councils, all the 774 local government area chairmen, 3 traditional rulers from different zones within the local government area, nominees from the 3 traditional rulers and the local government chairman, making 4 unemployed graduates to attend the training. OC surveillance from Divisional Police Station. Chief Host, Barrister Nyesom Wike, Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Arrival date and completion of registration by all participants is on 16th of June 2025. Signed, Distinguished Senator Buba Shehu Umar, Chairman, Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence.
The 4th Annual Choir Festival of Asiwaju of Remo Christians is here, and you are cordially invited. The theme for the 2025 edition is With the Voice of Singing. The Choir Festival will feature the winner of the 2024 edition, Emerald Choir, the host choir, Tabernacle Choir, 8 other competing choirs, and 20 observing choirs. Special appearance by King Sunny and Star Prize, 5 million naira. Second prize, 3 million naira. Third prize, 2 million naira. The total winning prize for this year's edition is 25 million naira and other consolation prizes for winners in other categories. Date, Sunday 6th July 2025. Time, 11 a.m. prompt. Venue, Abraham Tabernacle, Oba Henry Wale Road, GRA, Shagam, Ogun State. Chief host is Excellency, the Senator Otumba Binga Daniel, CON, the Asiwaju of Remo Christians. The Choir Festival, improving the art of singing in our churches. Media partners, TVC News, Channels TV, Arise TV, BOS Communications, and others.
In the heart of Nigeria's political history, June 12 stands as a symbol of resilience, the power of the ballot, and the will of the people. But it wasn't always recognized as Democracy Day. For many years, Nigeria marked May 29 as its official Democracy Day, commemorating the handover of power from military rule to a civilian government in 1999. That date symbolized the beginning of the Fourth Republic and the return of democratic governance after decades of military dictatorship. June 12 had always represented something far more significant. It was the date of what many still regard as the freest and fairest presidential election in Nigerian history. The June 12, 1993 election, presumed to have been won by Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, fondly known as MKO Abiola. Despite the massive turnout and the transparent process, the results of that election were annulled by the military regime of General Ibrahim Babangida, plunging the nation into political turmoil. Protests erupted. The media, civil society, and international communities condemned the annulment. Abiola himself, emboldened by the will of the people, declared himself president in 1994. That bold declaration led to his arrest and incarceration, where he would later die under controversial circumstances in 1998, just as Nigeria was transitioning back to civilian rule. For years, activists and citizens clamored for proper recognition of June 12, not just as a date of tragedy, but as a cornerstone of Nigeria's democratic evolution. That long-held dream came to fruition in 2018 when President Muhammadu Buhari signed an executive order declaring June 12 as Nigeria's new Democracy Day, effectively replacing May 29.
Today, June the 12th, marks another Democracy Day anniversary and an occasion to celebrate freedom and unity of our nation. From 1999, we consistently celebrated Democracy Day to mark the end of military rule and the return of power and control into the hands of those freely elected by
the Senate, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Committee on National Security and Intelligence, National Assembly Complex, 3-Arm Zone, PMB 141, Garki, Abuja, Nigeria. Invitation to the first biannual training on community security engagement for traditional rulers, local government chairmen, and grassroots critical security stakeholders. The Nigerian Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence has approved a tripartite synergy with the National Open University of Nigeria, NOUN, and Royal Gate International, institutionalizing a biannual training course on community security engagement for traditional rulers, local government chairmen, and grassroots critical security stakeholders. This synergy is a legislative intervention aimed at providing a structural framework that will put in place a trained and equipped security intelligence personnel capable of acting as community first line of defense, COFILOD, in our communities. The training, as was institutionalized, is to be declared open by His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, the President of the Nigerian Senate, on the 17th of June 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt. Venue is the National Open University of Nigeria, NOUN Headquarters, Abuja. Chairman of the occasion, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, National Security Advisor to the President. Keynote address to be delivered by distinguished Senator Buba Shehu Umar, Chairman, Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence. Overview on community security engagement to be delivered by Mr. Adiola Oluwatosin Ajayi, MON, Director General, DSS. Attendance from states, governors and their security advisors, Right Honorable Speakers, House Committee Chairman on Security, House Committee Chairman on States and Local Government, Honorable Commissioner for Local Governments and Chieftaincy. Attendance from local government councils, all the 774 local government area chairmen, 3 traditional rulers from different zones within the local government area, nominees from the 3 traditional rulers and the local government chairman, making 4 unemployed graduates to attend the training. OC surveillance from Divisional Police Station. Chief host, Barrister Nyesom Wike, Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Arrival date and completion of registration by all participants is on 16th of June 2025. Signed, Distinguished Senator Buba Shehu Umar, Chairman, Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence.
The 4th Annual Choir Festival of Ashiwaju of Remo Christians is here, and you are cordially invited. The theme for the 2025 edition is With the Voice of Singing. The Choir Festival will feature the winner of the 2024 edition, Emerald Choir, the host choir, Tabernacle Choir, 8 other competing choirs, and 20 observing choirs. Special appearance by King Sunny and Star Prize, 5 million naira. Second prize, 3 million naira. Third prize, 2 million naira. The total winning prize for this year's edition is 25 million naira and other consolation prizes for winners in other categories. Date Sunday 6th July 2025. Time 11 a.m. prompt. Venue Abraham Tabernacle, Oba Henry Wale Road, GRA, Shagam, Ogun State. Chief host is Excellency the Senator Otumba Binga Daniel, CON, the Ashiwaju of Remo Christians. The Choir Festival, improving the art of singing in our churches. Media partners TVC News, Channels TV, Arise TV, BOS Communications, and others.
Thank you for joining us again on Biscon Television News. I'm Stella Apara. First, the high points of the news. On the national scene, Tinubu urges Wike to ignore critics, focus on FCT development. APC warns Ndume over Jennifer comments. In business news, Nigeria forfeits $4 million World Bank loan over audit failures. On the foreign scene, Newsom slams Trump for sending troops to LA amid immigration protests. And in sports, Al Hilal in talks to loan N'Golo Kante for Club World Cup. Now the news in detail. President Tinubu has encouraged FCT Minister Nyesom Wike to ignore distractions and focus on transforming Abuja. At the inauguration of the refurbished Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center, Tinubu praised Wike's leadership and reaffirmed the administration's infrastructure-driven development goals. He also emphasized that the facility will not be available for free public use, insisting that fees must be paid.
I'm glad in this week you are reflecting that. Don't pay attention to the busybody and the bystanders. Whatever they say, continue with your good work. You are a transformational leader. You have the foresight, the vision, and determination to succeed. Thank you very, very much.
Tinubu's comments come amid growing political speculation surrounding Wike's role in the APC government, despite his PDP affiliation.
In an inclusive and progressive society, the International Conference Center is part of our country's larger vision to become a hub for regional diplomacy, continental trade discussions, global partnership, and many more thoughtful, outlined goals that reflects our Nigerian first. I thank all of you. Eugene Abu, I thank you too. For being a reflection of quality in media space. Thank you very much. Today, I say once again to all of you, Baraka Salah.
Now, former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose has publicly defended President Bola Tinubu's economic policies, stating that no miracle can fix Nigeria overnight. After visiting the president at his Lagos residence, Fayose commended Tinubu's efforts in stabilizing the economy, highlighting difficult reforms such as subsidy removal and naira floating. He acknowledged that while the public is facing hardship, these steps are necessary for long-term recovery. Despite being a member of the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, Fayose reiterated his long-standing belief in Tinubu's leadership capacity and urged Nigerians to support the president's efforts. He stated he would never leave the PDP, even as he continues to personally support Tinubu's policies. In another story, the All Progressives Congress APC has cautioned Senator Ali Ndume over his recent comments comparing President Tinubu's current challenges to former President Goodluck Jonathan's 2015 electoral defeat. Ndume had warned that Tinubu risks a similar fate in 2027 if he fails to address widespread economic hardship and overconfidence in political endorsements. The APC, while acknowledging Ndume's seniority and right to express opinions, stated that any misconduct or breach of party discipline could attract sanctions. Now, the party emphasized its commitment to internal democracy and progressive ideals, but warned members against actions that could undermine party unity and stability. Now, the Joy Youth Council, IYC, worldwide, has urged President Tinubu to reinstate Governor Fubara and the Rivers State Assembly by June 12, Nigeria's Democracy Day. IYC President Theophilus Alaye said the emergency rule undermines democracy and betrays the will of Rivers people who elected their leaders through a transparent process. Alaye called on Tinubu to honor his reported commitment to restoring constitutional order, stressing that this move would reaffirm Nigeria's democratic values. Now, he warned that failure to act could erode public trust and set a dangerous precedent for Nigeria's future political conduct. You're watching Biscon TV News. Up next is Business News. Welcome back. Now to business news. Nigeria will forfeit $4 million from a World Bank loan due to the government's failure to meet international audit standards in reviewing the revenue practices of key agencies like the Federal Inland Revenue Service and Nigeria Customs. The funds were part of the $103 million fiscal governance and institutions project designed to strengthen public financial management and transparency. According to the World Bank, audit reports covering 2018 to 2021 failed to meet verification standards, prompting the government to cancel an additional $10.4 million in unused and unachievable project funds. Although the project saw gains in non-oil revenue and fiscal data publication, capital expenditure performance lagged, and key digital systems like the National Budget Portal remained incomplete. Still to come is foreign news. Details after the break. Welcome back. Now to foreign news. Tensions in the US have escalated as President Donald Trump deployed thousands of National Guard troops and Marines to Los Angeles in response to anti-immigration raids and protests. California Governor Gavin Newsom called the deployment a deranged fantasy, accusing Trump of bypassing state authority and attempting to incite chaos. The unrest began after ICE raids in Latino neighborhoods sparked citywide protests, which devolved into violence and vandalism. Local officials, including LA Mayor, condemned the federal intervention, while Trump defended the move as necessary to maintain order. A lawsuit has been filed against the administration, with Newsom warning of a growing authoritarian threat. We're due for another short break, and when we return, we'll bring you sports news. Audio Jungle. Welcome back. Now to sports news. Saudi giants Al Hilal are in negotiations to loan N'Golo Kante from domestic rivals Al Ittihad for the 2025 Club World Cup in the United States. The French midfielder, currently with Al Ittihad, is expected to boost Al Hilal's midfield as they face top clubs like Real Madrid and Red Bull Salzburg. Both clubs are backed by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, making the internal transfer more feasible. Kante joined Al Ittihad last year after a highly successful spell at Chelsea and played a key role in their recent title run. The Club World Cup kicks off on June 18, with Al Hilal representing Asia. We'll bring you entertainment news after the short break. Welcome back. Now to entertainment news. Nigerian Afrobeats sensation Ira Star has won the Best International Act at the 2025 BET Awards, marking her first major win at the prestigious event. The 21-year-old was the most nominated African artist of the night, and her win reflects her growing influence on the global stage. Other Nigerian stars like Tems, Rema, and Shally Poppy missed out on their categories. The event, held at the Peacock Theatre in Los Angeles, was dominated by Kendrick Lamar, who scooped 5 awards. Blue Ivy Carter, daughter of Beyoncé and Jay-Z, won the Young Stars Award, while Denzel Washington and Cynthia Erivo took top acting honors. We'll take another short break and continue with the rest of the news. Welcome back to Biscon TV News. Now to the major points of the news. On the national scene, Tinubu urges Wike to ignore critics, focus on FCT development. APC wants Ndume over Jonathan Cummins. In business news, Nigeria forfeits $4 million World Bank loan over audit failures. On the foreign scene, Newsom slams Trump for sending troops to LA amid immigration protests. And in sports, Al Hilal in talks to loan N'Golo Kante for Club World Cup. And that's the news on Biscon Television. We leave you with the last line. A.A. Mine said, "You're braver than you believe, and stronger than you seem, and smarter than you think." I'm Stella Opara. Thank you for watching.
Hello, folks. I greet you. Welcome to Citizen Jones Today. Of course, you are familiar with the fair. We interrogate issues that get thrown up by my country, your country. Um, Today, West African Examinations Council, the one you know as WAEC, a sub-regional examinations body made inexpedient by compromise and fraud. You know, the West African Examinations Council, or WAEC, was established in 1952 to determine the examinations required in the public interest in the English-speaking West African countries to conduct the examinations and to award certificates comparable to those of equivalent examining authorities internationally. And so in its 73 years of existence, the WAEC has not only had a handful of Nigerian academics to head the national office, including the late writer and Igbo monarch, Vincent Chukwuemeka Ike, and the current head, Dr. Amos Josiah Dangut. This history is just as well. But what interests us here is the spate of unwholesomeness in the examinations body occasioned by fraud and compromises. Now, these infractions have over time tended to compromise the integrity of examinations. The current probe of WAEC Nigeria by the National Assembly is a case in point. Examination fraud involves the act of manipulating the process in order to obtain an unfair advantage. Shall we broach this critical subject, please? I have a Nigerian, a father who understands what we are talking about. And let's meet and greet Chartered Accountant and National Affairs Analyst, Mr. Tumi Olowe. I greet you, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Citizen Jones.
Okay. Bottoms up.
Yeah, bottoms up. So the students, then we have the teachers invigilators who are at the second level. We have school management at third level. We have parents at the fourth level. We have WAEC supervisors. We have the custodians. We have the government. Then we have WAEC itself as the organization. Now, everybody has a role to play in this examination process. The students are the end users because at the end of the day, they are the ones that would write and everything. Now, teachers and invigilators are basically not WAEC staff.
But they are critical stakeholders.
No, of course they are critical because they are probably within the school establishment. Then we have the school management. Now, school management can be public, so they're under the Ministry of Education, or they can be private, and then they have private owners, and they're very key in this exam process. Now, parents. Parents are the enablers and financiers of examination fraud.
Okay.
Because the children have not started, the students, who basically are between the age of 15 and 18 when they are writing WAEC, they don't have the money to finance examination fraud.
Yeah.
Their parents.
Enablement will come from
So the parents are the one financing the funding of examination fraud in Nigeria. But
the fraud is provoked from somewhere.
Yes, the parents that are financing it. Because now we must tell ourselves the truth. Most parents just want their children, and it's not only at WAEC level. They've started from gaining admission to secondary school. You know, there was a story I was telling you some couple of weeks back about a parent that falsified the birth certificate of the child and the primary 6 exam results so that the child can gain admission into GSS1. So a parent that can do that
would do anything to see that child through
and to pass WAEC. Then we have WAEC supervisors. These are WAEC staff. Then we have the custodian. And these people at this level are like level 13 level. So they are higher level civil servants or WAEC officials.
And for that matter, parents.
And parents. And then, so WAEC officers are either WAEC staff or staff from the Ministry of Education, but these are higher level officials, most likely assistant director, cadre upward. Then we have the custodians who are WAEC staff. They are WAEC staff. And what's the job of a custodian? To ensure that examination materials are well kept. Safekeeping of the examination materials, the questions, and the answer sheets.
Are not leaked.
And are not leaked or exposed to fraudulent activities. Then we have the government. And I'll tell you how the government plays in this. Then we have the WAEC that is set, the body that is setting. Now, as we go up the pyramid, it narrows. At the top, exam will not leak at WAEC itself. Because the people handling it there, you can easily identify them. And WAEC,
you think so?
Yes. And the head of WAEC will not start leaking exam, or the director in charge of and WAEC has done enough.
But the impression is given that it must be an inside job.
Yes, but you see, along the pyramid, the areas where these things happen, we'll talk about.
Okay.
Them. Now, WAEC has done enough. As at the time we were writing WAEC, our results don't carry our photograph.
Okay.
My own WAEC certificate does not have my photograph. Because at that time, we were evolving. But the way Nigerians were evolving with exam malpractices, WAEC got to a point that, because then it was what's it called? You bring in machinery that represents you.
Okay.
You will register for the WAEC, go and do the WAEC on your behalf. And because there's no photographs on WAEC certificates, when certificate comes, it will register under your name. So it was impersonation. So WAEC got to a point that you now have to be putting your pictures on your certificate. It's not only WAEC that is doing it, WAEC Council is doing it. All major exam bodies are now putting people's, because impersonation became a big problem.
All right.
So WAEC took that step to curb exam malpractices, started putting pictures.
Has that helped in any way?
Yes, it has removed impersonation to a very large extent. So you can't register a machinery for WAEC now, and then the machinery will go and write WAEC for you because your picture is on. WAEC has also personalized answer scripts. So WAEC questions now are inside the answer script. So the answer scripts leaving exam so you answer your question inside your answer sheet.
Okay.
It's there.
The idea is to curb
yes, or people sleeping after exam has done. You go and prepare another one, and then you bring it, because answer sheets are not be numbered with this candidates exam numbers, and it's coming from WAEC. So unless you have a private printing press, and how WAEC will do it for you to do that. So it has also curbed a whole lot of. So WAEC is doing a whole lot.
Okay.
To curb. So I won't really fault WAEC in its own drive against exam malpractices. They've gone ahead now to also ensure that you must have your name, so that identification problem has been removed.
But then there must be an engineer here.
Yes, we're getting there. In 1984, we had Decree 20. Decree 20 of 1984.
Okay.
Which prescribed a 21-year jail sentence.
That was in the Buhari's first coming.
Yes.
Okay.
Because exam malpractices was just endemic. So Decree 20, for people around that time, the rhetorics on here was 21 years once you are caught. But in 1999, when we started this, our new democracy, we now promulgated an Act 33, which reversed Decree 20 and stipulated punishment ranging from 50,000 to 100,000 and imprisonment for a term of 3 to 4 years, with or without option of fine.
Okay.
When it became difficult for the appropriate authorities to enforce the old Decree 20, So we made a law. Government made a law, and that's where government is second to last at the pyramid. Because after WAEC has done his own, WAEC cannot prosecute suspects. When suspects are arrested at exam centers, they are handed over to government authorities to prosecute. And government is saying that we've not been able to effectively implement Decree 20. So we will make another law. But since we've made Act 33 of 1999, I doubt if the government can say that he has effectively implemented that law.
And for that matter, curb
malpractices. So that is government. So when I saw the video of the
National Assembly, I was going to.
I felt very sad because, as far as I'm concerned, they were playing to the gallery. Exam malpractices is not new. So I'm giving their predecessors made the law in 1999. They should let us know how effectively that law has been implemented. How many people has been sent to jail for 3 or 4 years? Or has been fined?
Or have we been able to count our blessings regarding that law?
Regarding that law. So sitting down and all that, this is not what we need. We need to go back to this pyramid.
But could that be a ploy?
Well, it was
that
for me. I think it was just a
window dressing.
A window dressing, and now we'll get there. Now, this government makes the law, but you know that WAEC is for secondary school students. Secondary schools are under the purview of state government.
Yeah.
So when you flout the law, you will be handed over to the police in that state to be prosecuted by that state's Ministry of Justice. So if a state decide that they don't care about, because it's like a competition among states. I have the best WAEC result, not minding how the results are procured.
Came about.
Now, there is a story in 2022 from Imo State.
Okay.
That the Imo State was accusing WAEC of being unfair to them because they said that now 256 secondary schools were found culpable of examination fraud in Imo State.
What year was this?
2022. That news was 2022.
Just yesterday.
Just yesterday. So WAEC fined those 256 schools 500,000 naira each, and then now also fine them 150,000 for the process each. So that brought it to 350,000 naira that each school were fined. Now Imo State said that 266 Imo State House of Assembly had a plenary session condemning the fine imposed by WAEC on 266 secondary schools in the state for alleged malpractices. The condemnation followed, I'm reading excerpt from the news report. The condemnation followed, as national news or major newspaper.
Yeah.
The condemnation followed a motion on object public importance moved by a member representing in Jagba State constituency, Right Honorable Uju Owudiwe. Moving the motion, which was seconded by Honorable Eddie Obina of Abbott University State constituency.
Yeah.
Right Honorable Uju Ndua said the West African Examination Council has imposed a fine of 500,000 on 266 secondary schools in the state, which were said to have engaged in examination malpractices during the last examination exercise. According to her, not only was the said amount imposed on them as fines, but that the adjourned body has also demanded a mandatory payment of another 150,000 for each of the schools for the hiring of invigilators, as none of the school teachers will be used. Now, we mentioned teachers, the second level of once teachers are compromised, there's nothing WAEC has done. Because now you get to the schools, WAEC has issued out the exam, and then the schools put your invigilators there. The invigilators
they look the other way.
They look the other way. So in this particular instance, WAEC said, we will not use your teachers anymore as invigilators. We are going to hire them, and you will pay for it. The cost must come from you. But here, the State Assembly is not looking at the indictment. They are feeling like they are being oppressed. So for me, the drama at the National Assembly, what are they going to do about this kind of case in a state that feels that WAEC is oppressing them, trying to fight examination malpractices?
Let me tell the viewer that West African Examinations Council involves not just Nigeria, includes Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and the Gambia.
The 5 English-speaking Anglophone West African countries.
In the sub-region.
Of course, we are not the only one that is culpable of malpractices.
Okay.
It
also
happens
in
Ghana.
those places.
But
Places too.
they have a more robust response
to
dealing with this court. But in Nigeria, so I'm just trying to show government that it's not only government at the federal level. Actually, the effective governance over exam malpractices is at the state. So that's why I'm bringing this story that happened in 2022 to the fore. The action taken by a state House of Assembly in reaction to indictments by WAEC. It doesn't show that they are cooperating with WAEC to curb exam malpractices. So whatever the National Assembly is doing, they're just doing it on their own. Are they going to start imposing on the Imo State of Assembly on what to do? What not to do?
The issue that the last examination, one of the papers, or I hope it is more than one, or not more than one, one of the papers was written in the night.
Yes, because that was English. It leaked, I think, a day prior to.
Yeah.
So the logistics in WAEC is that now WAEC has like 3 sets of questions for each particular exam year.
Okay.
They will pick a live question. We have A, B, C. So probably C will be the live question. We'll print. The other 2 are kept in case we have incidents like this. So whichever was live question leaked, and they decided that we were going to do a reprint with DD overnight. But logistical issues, they couldn't. There were schools that finished their exams by 5 in Lagos State, for example.
5 a.m. p.m.
5 p.m. Yes, normally you have your morning paper, so it's still normal time for. But in far-flung areas of Nigeria, people had to, maybe before the papers got to them, people had to wait till night and then use torchlight. And of course, we also played the ostrich. Why we allow our children to use torchlight? But the question we ask ourselves, why don't our schools have lights?
Why don't our schools have lights in 2025?
In 2025. You know, we would try to be getting angry while exposing ourselves. Because
or try to, as the white man says, politically correct.
Correct. So when we say those things, why don't we have lights? I was listening to one of the honorables, and he was saying that even in his village there is no light. So what are you doing in the National Assembly? Why have you not made electricity a matter of urgency?
Yeah.
So that we can avoid. Now, math also leaked, but WAEC approached it in a different way. Maybe because, benefit of hindsight. So what they did was, okay, no problem. This was leaked. We were also going to do a reprint. But we will now, so the paper that was supposed to do in the morning was now taken to the evening. The ones that they thought we can still manage was done in the morning. They now, they've zoned their examination for logistic purposes into clusters. So each cluster, the schools among there, you are going to now give us, so instead of you using your own teacher as in literature in your school, you give us a teacher that is not a subject matter teacher for the paper that we are doing.
Meaning, if the paper is mathematics,
you give us
a teacher who teaches
maybe Yoruba that doesn't really have any inclination towards.
Yeah.
But school A will send his own invigilators now to school D. School D will send you. So you are not going to use your. And even at that, from the grapevine, there's this particular school that a teacher was sent from another school to on the day of math. And she was there, and the school Now, school management.
Okay.
Part of this pyramid.
Uh-huh.
They have connived with parents. Where the parents had paid them. Because I know Lagos State Monitoring, if anybody is listening from Lagos State Monitoring, they know this. They know that there's this incident somewhere in Lagos.
So this is an endemic racket.
Yes, involving all of us.
Okay.
Maths, OBJ.
Objective.
Okay, we are done. But the invigilator noticed that the students had not really put anything that we are done, sir. Can we collect results? Then collected the answer scripts. Yeah. YX supervisor, who is supposed to seal the answer envelope in the presence of the invigilator, but refused to seal. Already during the course of the examination, the principal and VP of that school had come to meet this invigilator to look, there's an arrangement here.
Play ball.
But I was like, no. Then say me come here. I have a name to protect. I have the name of the school I'm coming from also to protect. So she left and went to the custodian, who is a YX staff. Me, I'm done. No, I left the answer there.
Yeah.
She didn't say before I left the place. The girl came an hour and 20 minutes later. So apparently when the supervisor left, when the invigilator left, this YX supervisor, who was already in cahoots with the school management, released the examination script back to the students for them to seal and came back. Of course, subsequently, Lagos monitoring team are in that school. Now, that is one. Second, the students in that school that were the school students, rightfully, are now up to 30% of the population writing the exam in that school.
The rest are mercenaries?
No. External candidates.
Okay.
They didn't really go, they're doing their exam again. So it's like a quasi-special center. So these things are in our society that we all know about. So all these functionary playing to the gallery, querying, telling them that they don't care about children. No. Do we care about our children?
So who should the National Assembly have called?
The National Assembly should have called all the stakeholders.
Okay. Namely, the state government?
State government, Ministry of Education.
Okay.
School owners.
Okay.
Parents, maybe PTAs, and of course, WAEC itself. They should sit down. What do we want to do? How effective?
Where is the problem?
The problem is...
No. I mean, National Assembly should ask, where is the problem?
Because if we cancelled Decree 20, because we thought it was too draconian, 21 years, 21 years, stuff like that. And then we now said, we'll water it down to 3 to 4 years. 50,000, 9,000 fine, which a lot of people will pay now. People are even paying more than that to get favors to pass exam. But even let us still implement that effectively. The excuse was we couldn't implement Decree 20 effectively. What is happening to the effective implementation of Act 33 of 1999?
To me, are you now surprised that our certificate, since ours is a heavily certificated environment, our certificates are considered not up to standard?
Yeah, because we are playing ostrich, but every other person is seeing what we are doing. There have been a whole lot of investigations carried out by journalists of schools where you can procure an A, just pay. And these are
a so-called special center.
Yes, these are in public domain. What research did the National Assembly carry out before calling the WAEC people? It's not a matter of questioning WAEC. It's a matter of sitting down. What can we do? Now, the present Minister of Education, in conjunction with WAEC, has said that from next year, WAEC will go CBT. Of course, I've seen in the news so-called stakeholders saying that
they cannot.
That they cannot. Because we want to curb examination. So the WAEC maths and English paper that leaked. WAEC does not need to print new questions. It's just a matter of implementing exam question change on the computer and serving the students. The students will not even know that the exam questions have been changed because they will meet a different exam. And since JAMB started CBT, leakages of exams have reduced because it is easy now to trace the chain of custody of exam questions have been limited to the people at the top. So you can easily trace if the leakages. But you see, in this our 7-tier pyramid, from the custodians that are WAEC staff, some are Judases. Exams start leaking from them. So when they get the paper, they take a photograph of the questions and send it to their cabal. Because it's actually a cabal. There was a report I was reading. Unfortunately, I've deleted it on my phone. This industry per exam cycle is over 2 billion naira. So look at the exam cycles in a year in Nigeria. JAMB, WAEC, NECO. That is like a 10 billion naira industry, examination fraud industry every year.
Yeah.
So there's a whole lot of money there. So when I saw those stakeholders, I just laughed. A part of these stakeholders are people involved making money from this industry every year. Because why would you be, when NIN was introduced to JAMB and WAEC, a whole lot of stakeholders also kicked against it because it is closing the door on examination practice. We might not be able to totally eradicate it, but we should bring it down to a reasonable extent that it doesn't become an eyesore, an embarrassment to the system anymore. So everybody in this pyramid, except the students, who are supposed to be encouraged to read, because really when you read, we have also had students pass through secondary school. We passed through secondary school.
Yeah.
We read. Nobody was telling us to go and if you fail, you get reset at home. My boys went to secondary school and they had very good results because the thing is, Oga, read your book, you will pass. I'm not asking you to be number one, but if you can be number one, it's good for you.
Yeah.
But you can pass if you pay attention and you are diligent. And they are doing well. Their WAEC result is good. Their exam was good. Their results in their respective universities are good. These things can be done. But once parents are enabling students, don't worry, we'll take care of it for you. The students become relaxed. And that's why we are seeing our children on TikTok. Instead of reading, they are dancing. The people that are even making these phones, apps, don't allow their own children to use those apps because they know that they are distracting. But we have decided that it's that distraction that we would enable. And so we've enabled distraction. Now to cover up for performance, we are now paying. So parents are critical in this examination fraud. They are the one paying.
They are neck deep.
So they are the one drawing every other person. Because you always have Judases across the chain.
Yeah.
But when the parents are ready to grease the palms of the Judases, then we have a problem. And parents are also in government. Yeah. So the government cannot be playing ostrich as if they don't know where the problem is.
To me, we must apply the brakes here. We have said so much in so short a time. In closing, let me remind the viewer that the late American writer and journalist Mark Twain, the one you know as Sam Clemens, said, "Do not let your studies interfere with your education." To me, nobody gets educated at school. You only get taught, like other students. What you do with what you were taught constitutes your education after leaving school.
The application of it.
So so we are messing the future of these children up when we indulge in these things. We know it. We know the problem, and as you keep saying, we are playing the ostrich.
We are playing the ostrich
when the problem is still there. I thank you, but the West African Examinations Council was established for good reason. 73 years after, we're still asking questions about that establishment. Thank you to me for coming.
Thank you for having me.
We are done. Let the debate continue in your part of town. Bye-bye now.
The 4th Annual Choir Festival of Asiwaju of Remo Christians is here, and you are cordially invited. The theme for the 2025 edition is With the Voice of Singing. The Choir Festival will feature the winner of the 2024 edition, Emerald Choir, the host choir, Tabernacle Choir, 8 other competing choirs, and 20 observing choirs. Special appearance by King Sunny and Star Prize 5 million naira. Second prize 3 million naira. Third prize 2 million naira. The total winning prize for this year's edition is 25 million naira and other consolation prizes for winners in other categories. Date Sunday 6th July 2025. Time 11 a.m. prompt. Venue Abraham Tabernacle, Oba Henry Wale Road, GRA, Shagam, Ogun State. Chief host is Excellency the Senator Otumba Gbenga Daniel, CON, the Asiwaju of Remo Christians. The Choir Festival, improving the art of singing in our churches. Media partners TVC News, Channels TV, Arise TV, BOS Communications, and others.
The Senate, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Committee on National Security and Intelligence, National Assembly Complex, 3-Arm Zone, PMB 141, Garki, Abuja, Nigeria. Invitation to the first biannual training on community security engagement for traditional rulers, local government chairmen, and grassroots critical security stakeholders. The Nigerian Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence has approved a tripartite synergy with the National Open University of Nigeria, NOUN, and Royal Gate International, institutionalizing a biannual training course on community security engagement for traditional rulers, local government chairmen, and grassroots critical security stakeholders. This synergy is a legislative intervention aimed at providing a structural framework that will put in place a trained and equipped security intelligence personnel capable of acting as community first line of defense, COFILOD, in our communities. The training, as was institutionalized, is to be declared open by His Excellency Senator Godswill Akpabio, the President of the Nigerian Senate, on the 17th of June 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt. Venue is the National Open University of Nigeria, NOUN Headquarters, Abuja. Chairman of the occasion, Malam Nuhu Ribadu, National Security Advisor to the President. Keynote address to be delivered by Distinguished Senator Buba Shehu Umar, Chairman, Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence. Overview on community security engagement to be delivered by Mr. Adiola Oluwatosin Ajayi, MON, Director General, DSS. Attendance from states, governors and their security advisors, Right Honorable Speakers, House Committee Chairman on Security, House Committee Chairman on States and Local Government, Honorable Commissioner for Local Governments and Chieftaincy. Attendance from local government councils, all the 774 local government area chairmen, 3 traditional rulers from different zones within the local government area, nominees from the 3 traditional rulers and the local government chairman, making 4 unemployed graduates to attend the training. OC surveillance from Divisional Police Station. Chief host, Barrister Nyesom Wike, Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory. Arrival date and completion of registration by all participants is on 16th of June 2025. Signed, Distinguished Senator Buba Shehu Umar, Chairman, Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence.
No answer.
You're watching a live program taking place in Abuja, where President Bola Tinubu is kicking off a 17-day commissioning of Federal Capital Territory Administration project, starting with the International Conference Center in Abuja. Earlier, the FCT Minister, Nyesom Wike, clarified that the president will commission 10 key projects to mark his second anniversary in office. Some of the projects to be commissioned include renovated International Conference Center, the ICC, which has undergone significant refurbishment and will now be managed directly by the FCT Minister's office, with Julius Berger handling maintenance. Road, connecting Ring Road 1 interchange to Jahi, Maitama, and Mabushi.
Minister of the FC come forward and deliver his welcome address.
Senators, members of National Assembly, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, let me thank you once again for giving us the opportunity. We know that time is not on the side, but it's important for the public to understand and to know why today this is called Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference. This conference was built in 1991 under the military government. Since that time, nothing has happened to this conference. Last year, sometime July, August, you came here to inaugurate the ECOWAS Parliament. It was an embarrassment for a country to have this as an international conference then. And you said, how can we have this as an international conference? That shows leadership. And you said, look, next time you want to come here, you want to see a different international conference. Within 8 months, Mr. President, this is what we have. And I feel that without your leadership, it wouldn't have been possible. You are not the only president who have come here. So many presidents have come here. Nobody has said, this is not what Nigeria needs. But because of your leadership, you gave a marching order. This is not the quality to show that Nigeria is a giant of Africa. Today, this Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference can match any other international conference. But what I want to appeal, Mr. President, because I know pressure will come. How do we sustain this? I want to let everybody know. Whether you're a ministry, whether you're an agency, you want to use this, you have to pay something. You have to pay. That's the only way it can be sustained. Nothing like my brother, my sister is going to have wedding. If you want to use a place like this, such a beautiful place, then you must do something. This was being handled for a politician. A politician, they gave it to a politician, and he killed the place. And when we tried to do what, the politician had to go to court to stop us from carrying out this infrastructure that I've seen today. So, if you're not the kind of person who would have not done this work, pressure came left, center. You said, go ahead and rehabilitate that place. And we thank God for showing that leadership. And that's what we have always said. Our problem is leadership. When you have the right leadership, things will get done. And this is what you have shown today. Mr. President, I thank you. And in doing that, because National Assembly has also supported us, I told you as we are expecting the project. At the back, we have 2 halls. We have to remember those who have also supported FCT. National Assembly is one such arm of government. So we have named one hall, Jibijin Tabas Hall. We have named Gosolababi Hall. And your vice president, we have named one of these halls to your vice president. And then the CJN, we have also named one of the halls against the name of the CJN. At least let the 3 arms of government work together. So I just said that since it is property under you and the building is under you, then these people have small names in those, but let them know that it is under Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference. Thank you. And Mr. President, I hereby invite you to talk to us.
Tinubu, renewed hope now you will know. We want you for another 4 years to make you complete Nigeria. As he depend them, so he go see with us.
Eid Mubarak, Mr. President. Adorable President, Commander-in-Chief, Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. The Deputy Senate President, my brother, Barao Jibrin. The marvelous and performing Minister of the Federal Capital Territory and his Minister of State, Right Honorable Jason Wike, judging from the way you address. I can say, let me respect other protocols. Mr. President, in law, we say res ipsa loquitur. The act speaks for itself. So there is no need to make any speech on a day like this. But I want to give a background, a little background, to why we are here. We came last year to inaugurate the first sitting of ECOWAS Parliament. Parliamentarians came from all parts of West Africa. It was a monumental embarrassment. We managed to get a small generator working. This place was dark. This place was in a total state of disrepair. And you were shocked. You turned to me and said, is this what we are showcasing to West Africa? And then the minister came and said, I didn't know it was like this. Right there, he vowed to you that next time you set your feet in this international conference center, that the story will be different. So, Mr. President, I will leave it to you to say your observation. But permit me commend the Honorable Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, my dear brother, Nyesom Wike, and his team. I don't know which contractor handled this, but I can imagine it must be the usual Julal Beja. I'm just guessing, because I saw their quality when I entered. Mr. President, the renovation, the rehabilitation, and the transformation that we are witnessing in ICC is what you are bringing to this country, whether people like it or not. The Nigerian Parliament is very proud of you. We are proud of the fact that we do the budgeting, we give the approvals, and you do the execution. But you have put on your thinking cap, and you are very determined to leave Nigeria better than you met it. It starts from here. I said it before in Lagos, and I will repeat myself. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a step, and that is the step we are taking here. Mr. President, congratulations to you. And I must congratulate the Minister of FCT, the Minister of State, and the entire team for the wisdom of realizing that a befitting place like this, after being transformed, should be named after the transformational leader that Nigeria has today, Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center. I understand that you have also honored the Nigerian Parliament, that one of the halls is named after another transformative Senate President, in the person of Senator Godswill Akpabio GCON. May I tell you, we are very appreciative. The Parliament is appreciative. There is also another hall that is named after His Excellency Tajuddin Abbas, GCON, the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And then just beside him is another hall that is named after the current Chief Justice of Nigeria, our dear sister Kekereekun, GCON. What are you trying to imply? You are trying to say that the Trinity, the executive, the parliament, and the judiciary are working together for the total transformation of Nigeria under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and for this I say thank you to you. That ends my speech, Mr. President. Congratulations, congratulations, and congratulations.
Things are getting better. Things are getting better. For the Siwaju is on the throne. Things are getting better. Things are getting better. Things are getting better.
Thank you very much. The very distinguished President of the Senate has spoken. A quote, let us team together. This is the only nation we have. It is one country, and we must build together. We must work together to put broken pieces together. We must work for the unity, happiness, and harmony of Nigeria. This was the president's speech when he was elected as president. Only recently conferred with the title of Professor of Infrastructure by the SGF, holder of multiple traditional titles across Nigeria, but more famously known as Jagaban of Bogo, revered strategist, president of Africa's most populous nation. Do give a warm Abuja welcome to Nigeria's #1, our very special guest of honor, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Please be seated. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Senate President, the Deputy Senate President, Your Excellency, our landlord, is a wicked, the Federal Minister of Federal Capital Territory, and the Minister of State, and all members of this team, from tech, supervisors, all who are involved in the transformation of this edifice. greatly honored and happy to be here to reopen this International Conference Center as part of our determined effort to change the way we do things, to reflect us as people of quality, people of character, people of determination, people of spirit. That's what we and I'm glad in this week you are reflecting that. Don't pay attention to the busybody and the bystanders. Whatever they say, continue with your good work. You are a transformational leader. You have the foresight, the vision, and determination to succeed. Thank you very, very much. When I attended the conference of ECOWAS Parliament here, it was a very dirty, disorganized, inhabitable environment. Aside from the side talk with the Senate President, I turned to Wiki. I said, but this conference center is not reflecting who we are. Have we sunk this low? He said, no, but bear with us. We will do whatever we do to transform the place. We won't come back to find it in a dilapidated, uninhabitable situation that it is. And today I am very, very happy. Thanks to the contractor. I know somebody who hooked my hand there, the representative of Julius Berger. Today, we are not talking about renegotiation. We are talking about rehabilitation. We are talking about quality, commitment to details, and good work. It reflects what Julius Berger has been known for in this country for years. Whatever might be wrong today, is a sign of a good thing that we are correcting and we are reflecting, renewing our hope and believing in ourselves and what we can do, what Nigeria can be, a great nation on earth. Through the new agenda, coming to renew infrastructure across the key sectors of this country: transportation, healthcare, education, energy, and urban development. Because you understand that modern infrastructure is the backbone of a thriving economy and an inclusive and progressive society. The International Conference Center is part of our country's larger vision to become a hub for regional diplomacy, continental trade discussions, global partnership, and many more thoughtful, outlined goals that reflects our Nigerian first. I thank all of you. Eugene Abu, I thank you too. For being a reflection of quality in media space. Thank you very much. Today, I say once again to all of you, Baraka de Salah. And you must obey what the landlord says. You want to use this place? You got to pay for it.
Yende ba, 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 yende ba.
The national anthem. With the national anthem gone, His Excellency President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria will now depart this newly rehabilitated Bola Ahmed Tinubu International Conference Center.
President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has commissioned the newly upgraded International Conference Center in Abuja, marking the start of a week-long series of project inaugurations to celebrate his second year in office. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike says the ICC is the first of 10 projects approved by the President for commissioning in the Federal Capital Territory this week. The revamped facility, which was done by construction firm Julius Berger, boasts of modern enhancement aimed at restoring its reputation as a premier.
The chairman of the New Initiative will make a presentation of 10,000 professional key concerts to midwives in Southeast Zone. It is what happened for if you don't mind. How much more will somebody love you as to know that she loves you so much? Please, may I stand on a position where we will believe that we will move as fast as we can. Let me request that the chief hostess of this event, Her Excellency, the wife of the governor of Kogi State, First Lady, will shortly come forward to say welcome in a formal note to our honored guest. And as she's coming, thank you. Your Excellency, the First Lady, Federal Republic of President, Your Excellency, the Governor of Enugu State, I take time to welcome one of the trustees of this Renewed Hope Initiative Health Program. I'm referring to Prince Arthur Ikpechukwu. Ezenukpo, Ezenukpo, Ezenukpo. Anyị na-ekpekpere gị ekpere ka ịdụ ndụ maka na ịdụ ndụ arụ na-adị anyị mma. Inugo nnọọ ọ ya abalị ma gbasa ndị Ọnịcha. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite the First Lady of Enugu State, Her Excellency Mrs. Nkechi Yeremba, to come and say welcome to our honored guest. Please give her an encouraging round of applause as she walks. Mama Enugu is here to make her speech. Welcome. Please continue giving her a round of applause because she had a lot of things good for nurses and midwives. Thank you. Thank you. Your Excellency, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON, to Enugu State, the very cosmopolitan and vibrant heart of the Southeast. Words alone can't express how happy we are about this visit. We are pleased that your inspiring political career has been dedicated to improving the well-being of the masses and ensuring that no one feels left behind. Your presence here today reaffirms such commitment and enduring work ethic. We extend a heartfelt appreciation for your selfless commitment to building an inclusive society, especially in the healthcare sector as exemplified through the Renewed Hope Initiative. This initiative has significantly impacted countless lives across our nation's diverse geopolitical zones. Your noble endeavor has brought succor and hope to communities that have long yearned for such intervention. Here in Enugu State, we are profoundly grateful for the transformative outcomes of the Renewed Hope Initiative. Midwives are at the front lines of maternal and child health. Empowering these important healthcare workers is crucial to the push to reduce maternal and under-5 mortality rates radically. The distribution of 10,000 professional kits comprising scrubs and crocs to our dedicated midwives across every zone is a significant boost to strengthening our healthcare system. This thoughtful gesture is a powerful affirmation of the value and dignity we place on our healthcare professionals. You haven't simply voiced your ideals, man. You have also put them into action. This is a reflection of transformative leadership. Your Excellency, Enugu State is delighted to benefit from this generous and impactful intervention, which will certainly foster mothers and newborns. We are thrilled by the impact these professional kits will have on our healthcare system. Research indicates that integrating a robust midwife workforce can prevent up to 41% of maternal deaths, 39% of neonatal deaths, and 26% of stillbirths globally. This initiative is not just an investment in human capital, it's an investment in the future of Enugu State and indeed the future of our great nation, Nigeria. It is noteworthy that Enugu State already has a comprehensive strategic health development plan focused on leadership, service delivery, human resources, health financing, and community engagement. By aligning the Renewed Hope initiatives activities such as medical outreaches and resource distributions with this strategic thrust, we can ensure that ROHI health intervention address local needs and reinforce established frameworks. The focus on rural and vulnerable communities directly supports our aim for equitable healthcare access in Enugu. The Renewed Hope initiative serves as a clarion call to all stakeholders, government, private sector, and civil society to actively pursue sustainable development. It underscores the crucial role of collective efforts and strategic partnerships in building resilient systems that can navigate challenges and deliver lasting benefits. Here in Enugu, we are inspired by your leadership and vision, and we reaffirm our commitment to the success and sustainability of this vital program. Please convey our best wishes and goodwill to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, DCFR. We commend his visionary leadership and steadfast dedication to our nation's unity. We are confident that under his guidance, Nigeria is on the verge of unprecedented growth and transformation, and we in Enugu are proud to play our part in this national renaissance. Permit me, Your Excellency, to acknowledge the unwavering support and dedication of my beloved husband, His Excellency, the Governor of Enugu State, Dr. Barrister Peter Ndubi Simba. His relentless drive and commitment to the well-being of our people of Enugu are truly inspiring. Once again, Your Excellency, welcome to Enugu State. We are delighted to have you with us and eagerly look forward to a continued collaboration as we work together to elevate the lives of our people. Thank you, and God bless you for your tireless charitable inclination. God bless Enugu State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
So our thank you for welcoming our very beautiful colors. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we will need to have a general overview about this program, Renewed Hope Initiative Health Program. And in the light of that, I would like to invite Dr. Mui Aina, Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer, National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, to please nutshell anywhere you like, please.